Hello, this is to prepare you for the test on Chapter 3. Where are we? Okay, Chapter 3. Chapter 3, you basically start with equations like these. Some of the stuff you did in Chapter 2, but Chapter 3 in particular, you did that last one. 5x plus 9 is 3x minus 7. You have x on two sides. You have to move the x's to one side and the constants to the other. This stuff you've been tested on. But the new stuff that you're going to be tested on, and I would not be surprised if the test concentrates on the inequalities, is this stuff in 3.4, 3.5, 3.6, 3.7, no, just 3.6. And you can see it's basically the same stuff except there is inequalities. So what makes the inequality so special? There are three things you have to know or be careful about when doing inequalities. First one is you need to graph the solution, and if it has a little line underneath, it means an equal to, so that gets a solid dot. The one without the line is an open dot because 3 is not included. And notice, this is really cool, if you put the x on the left side, the direction of the arrows, or the direction of the inequality sign, is the same direction as the graph. It's really cool. That really makes it easy. The other thing you must know is when you're solving these equations and you divide or multiply by a negative sign, you must reverse the sign of the inequality. This is absolutely critical. Something everybody forgets to do. Don't forget on the test. The last thing, we just talked about it there, the answer, the variable should always be on the left. If not, you can reverse the order of the inequality, but also you have to reverse the sign. So we will see an example of that. Okay, so to study for the test, this is what I suggest. Redo all the problems that were on the last quiz. Here they are, and I'll be sending an answer sheet for these problems. I didn't copy the word problem, but you have the word problems from the previous test. But the answer sheet that I'll send has the answers to the word problems. So let's do this one inequality problem that includes all of the 3 points here that you need to know. Okay, so this really puts it all together in terms of an inequality. The chances of a question like this being on the test are about 100%. Okay, so here's the problem. It starts like that, right? Now, first thing you have to do is distribute. Okay, distribute. So you multiply the -4, etc. And I'm trying to find a little cursor thing. Okay, and you get -4 minus 40 is less than or equal to -7 plus 65. Now you have to move the x's to one side and the constants to the other. So in this case, I added a 4x to both sides. That's fine, no problem. Do the same thing to both sides. You do the opposite of -4x. You add it to both sides. That blows off the -4x. And you get -40 is greater than or equal to, did I say less than or equal to? Okay, greater than or equal to -3x plus 65. Now you subtract -65 from both sides because you have to blow off that 65 on the right, so you do the opposite. You add 65, and no, you subtract 65. Sorry, you subtract 65, and you get -105 is greater than or equal to -3x. You divide by -3 because that's what's bothering the x, and you are left with 35 less than x. Notice I divided by -3, which means you must reverse the sign of the inequality. Okay, I divided by a negative number. You must reverse the sign of the inequality. And I just can't find the cursor thing. Okay, that is absolutely critical. Now, this now leads to the third point, the point about what happens if the x is on the right. It doesn't look too good. It doesn't look too good when you have 35 less than or equal to x. That's weird. Better to have the x on the left-hand side of this equation. No problem. Switch them. Go ahead. Change it. But you have to change the sign of the inequality if you flip it. Okay? If you change the order, you have to flip the sign. So the answer turns out to be x is greater than 35. Now this is the first point of the inequality. Notice that it is an equal sign, so you give it a solid dot. So that is the answer. I did not check it, but to check it, pick 40. 40 is like a good number because 40 multiplies by those numbers pretty well. Put 40 into that equation on the top, and it should work. I will check after the video to make sure it does work. If it doesn't work, I'm going to have to redo this whole video because obviously I did the problem wrong. But you would check with something like 40, which is an even number, or you could check with 100. 100 also is good. Easy numbers to check with. Okay, that's it. Good luck tomorrow.